walking his ways, impact voice. Walking his ways, impact voice. Walking his ways, impact. We're walking his way. Tune in to get your mind right. Tune in and let your soul glow. We already hit the top charts. So if you're really ready, let's go. Walking his ways, impact voice. Walking his ways, impact voice. Walking his ways, impact. Walking his ways. Furman Jackson be the host. NC, co-host. Co-host. Prime time, co-host. Walking his ways, impact voice. Walking his ways, impact voice. Walking his ways, impact. Walking his ways. Tune in to get your mind right. Tune in and let your soul glow. We already hit the top chart, so if you're really ready, let's go. Now wind it up, now wind it up, now wind it up. Don't stop till the time is up. Don't stop till the time is up. Now go wind it up, now wind it up. Go wind it up, go wind it up, go. Don't stop till the time is up. Go. Don't stop till the time is up. Go. Woo. Walk his ways, impact voice. Walk his ways, impact voice. Walk his ways, impact. Walk his ways. Tune in and get your mind right. Tune in and let your soul go. We already hit the top charts, so if you're really ready, let's go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Walking This Way's Impact Voice podcast. Today is Wednesday, September the 14th, 2022. We are doing another edition here of Walking This Way's Impact Voice podcast. Of course, I am rocking the new merchandise that I have, which is I Don't Believe It Being Mediocre. That's a new shirt that we have on our Walking This Way's Impact Store podcast, of course. And most definitely, we're going to be talking about some good stuff tonight. We're going to be talking about balance. We're going to be talking about if you're married, how you maintain that balance between being a husband and a father. We know home is very important. We know if we go biblically, the Bible talks about the home, how the home has to be structured first before we actually take things on the outside. I'm very excited to have recording artist Gabriel Wheeler out in Atlanta, GA. I just want to say welcome, my brother, to Walking This Way's Impact podcast. I know you're not a stranger. I know it's been a minute since you've been on here with me. You've been on the last two, probably like a year or so ago, more than a year ago,
Yes, sir.
with interviewing you about you. That you was part of the hip hop panel that I had some few years ago before I transitioned here to Dallas, Texas. So I welcome you once again to the podcast. Go ahead and introduce yourself right now. We are live streaming, of course, so we encourage everybody to like, share, leave some comments. We want to hear from you. We want to get some feedback. We're talking about some man stuff tonight. We're gonna be talking about balance. We're gonna be talking about music and all the other good stuff. So go ahead, G. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Furman Jackson, for having me on the show, man. It's a pleasure, man. Every time we link up, man, it's always a great experience, man. And I'm growing as an artist, even though I've been doing it for 20 plus years. I've been married for 8 years, going on 8 years here in about roughly a month right now. And so it's been going good. But like I said, it's still a learning experience for me. I'm still learning. However, I do have a little bit of leverage. I've been married, like I said, 8 years. I'm 35 years old. So I'm like right there in the middle. People usually tend to start getting engaged around their early 20s, late 20s, mid 30s. So I'm like right there where it kind of starts at, and then between 40 and everything. Like Mr. Furman Jackson said, my name is Gabriel Wheeler. Um, I've been on projects with Pastor Ken Jones that went Stellar Award. I believe some of them were Grammy nominated. Two projects, Love Jones and Kingdom Business, both had major success. Traveled the whole globe doing the music thing, and decided to do a solo project. And I've been working on my solo project ever since. Maybe about going on 7 years now. So that's a little bit about me.
And you've been working ever since then. How did that connection come about with you and Ken Jones?
Oh man, that came about. Man, that was like it was weird, man, because like I moved around all my life. Um, you would thought I was a child of someone that was in the military, but I wasn't. It's just I moved around a lot. So I'm originally from South Carolina. Um, uh, moved to California, where my dad was doing music at the time with gospel extraordinaire Tone, also known as B Slade. He found Tone. He was the founder of Tone. Got him his first record deal with Tommy Boy Records, and of course you all guys, everyone knows Tone if you're in the Christian gospel arena, well, rather gospel arena. Um, so things got a little rocky out there, and my mother caught wind of what was going out in California, because the transition, it started off good, then it went kind of bad, and I think we dipped and dabbed. If you guys go back to the previous podcast that I was on, um, so my mother caught wind, moved us to Atlanta. She relocated. She actually checked herself in a shelter so that she can get help with the housing for us. And so we moved to Atlanta. When we got to Atlanta, I didn't know anyone. She was saying, "Oh, let's go to Pastor Dollar's church." And so we was like, well, we always grew up in church. We was always a part of church. And so we ended up going to Dr. Dollar's church. And when we got there, that's when we got into the team ministry. And in the team ministry, Pastor Kenton Jones had uh, just transitioned to being the youth, uh, became the youth praise leader, praise worship leader. And that's how we met. I began rapping for him, for the youth, and the rest was history. I mean, we tore stuff down. when I said we when I said we had a ball, man, anybody in the southeast region, man, like Alabama, South Carolinas, Tennessee, man, we was everywhere, and they would travel to our church just to come sit in our ministry, man, in that youth department. And so it was a great experience. I feel like I kind of got spoiled in a way, but nevertheless, man, that's how we connected. Yes, sir.
And awesome stuff. So I know you mentioned that y'all always grew up in church. So having that strong foundation, that spiritual foundation to this day, how do you maintain keeping your faith? Because we know a lot of stuff is transpiring in our world, in our generation. You see a lot of
Yeah,
stuff, and
yeah.
you see all this other stuff. So how do you maintain keeping your faith rooted and grounded in the days and times that we're in right now?
Man, it's simple, man. Just having a prayer life, man. You know, being with my wife now, I'm more open to different religions, even though I guess you could say, a Christian. I believe in Jesus, so I guess followers of Jesus are Christians. So I consider myself a Christian. Um, However, I'm more so like just like having that prayer life and knowing God for yourself. Um, I pray all the time, man. I'm always praying. At work, I'm praying. Um, you know, and and I believe that's the beginning of it right there. Having that prayer life and knowing who your father is. If you believe in any type of afterlife, heaven or hell, then I would definitely, suggest you start now by praying every day, every chance you get. And the reason being, my reason for doing it is because, okay, I believe in that there's a heaven or hell. You know what I'm saying? And so um, I feel like if when I die, or when before I live again, um, I'm gonna meet my master. And so I'm like, well, I I know that the Christianity thing is all about faith. So instead of me waiting until I get there, let me go ahead and start utilizing this faith now by talking to him, walking with him, trying to figure out what it is that he needs from me. or is there anything I can do for him? You know what I'm saying? Or her, or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? And just build that, and so that when I get there, everything is just like, the only thing different is now we can probably see each other, or however you imagine heaven. You know what I'm saying? So my imagination of heaven is it really doesn't matter, because everyone has their own um fiction of heaven. But that's just how I kind of view things, and it works for me, man. So, feel free to take on that journey, man. I'm pretty sure a lot of individuals that's listening right now, and they probably are like, yeah, you're right, man. I need to do that, and I suggest you do that.
Yeah, 'cause I know everybody's always looking for answers. You learn how to become a free thinker, um, per se. You know, not being closed minded, but being open minded. And you mentioned that you say you're open to all type different religions. How did that all come about? Because a lot of times when we study different stuff, people in the church world wanna judge you and
Yeah,
put up all this other stuff and want to say, look, oh, you black backsliding and stuff like that.
yeah,
But how did that all come about? You being open to different religions? Because I believe we can learn a lot of stuff from a lot of things. You don't have to
yeah.
eat up everything, but it's something. You know what? I like that. I can rock with that. I can't rock with that, but I can rock
Hmm.
with that. So how
Hmm.
did it all come about being open up to different religions?
Well, I guess there's no way else to put it out there, but my wife grew up Muslim.
Okay.
Um, so when I got with her finally, like, we've been kind of together like pretty much our whole teenage years, off and on. We had like a spark, but never really used the electricity to generate what we needed to generate. So we just kind of sat on it, and it just stayed potential energy. And then once we got together, it became kinetic energy, and we began to moving in that same direction. So that began when I got with her seriously on the kinetic part, and started using that potential and started moving with things. And I started beginning to hear her family members that were probably studying it, and then other people started coming around. It just started coming around. As I grew older, I became aware of other things, and that was just the thing that stuck out for me was hers. Even though she's Christian now, that kind of stuck out, and I was like, wow, you know, you're not a bad person to me. I don't consider you a bad person. Hey, you're my wife. You know what I'm saying? For God's sake, but it just opened my eyes to a lot of things, and I was like, well, you know what? Even though um, we run into people that do study things, it's not for us to judge. You know what I'm saying? It's not for us to cast judgment, because I mean, I feel like everyone, in a sense, feels that same way. How they can say, "Hey, I met this Hindu, or I met this type of person, or whatnot," but I don't get no bad vibes from them. I, they're like my best friend. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, you know, yeah, that can definitely work out. You know what I'm saying? But so that just kind of opened my eyes with things a little bit, and let me know that it is about relationship more so than a religion, in a way.
Right. And we know that relationships are important, and a lot of people nowadays, a lot of stuff is open now compared to when we was growing up. A lot of things are becoming to the forefront. Everything becoming open. So people having questions now. People always looking for answers. We always looking for answers from different sources. We always looking for answers from different things. And when it comes to the faith, like when it comes to the modern day church. I don't really attend any of the church I used to attend anymore. Because I don't do that anymore because of the emotions. They get all of our emotions, but then we end up going back to people end up going back to the reality. They end up going right back to that same state of mindset, but we just all of our emotions. How can we get from being in our emotions to going to be empowered? Because you look at scripture, everyone that came in encounter with Christ had a life changing experience.
Mhm.
And it's time that the people have to have that life changing experience instead of getting caught up in our emotions,
That's it,
getting
man.
all sweaty, crying out, and soon we leave them doors, we right back to that same state of mind.
That's
Something
it,
got to give, G. Something just got to give on that. So what you say about that, bro?
man. I say you hit it right there on the head. It's all about experience. You know, I mean, you have to grow up. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Call it for what it is. And I believe once you go through and undergo that growth, you know what I'm saying, that moldness and him shaping you and being on that potter's wheel, you begin to experience some of them things. And you'll be like, you will stop casting judgment so much on on others because you still got the needle in your eye. You know what I'm saying? So how can you take a needle out of another's when you still got it in your eye?
Right,
So the only thing that can break off those barriers, I believe, is just and not necessarily it. Some people never ever break away from certain things. But I believe that it's just about relationship, man. Like you have to just continue to build, and wherever God take you in your journey, to let them take you there, but don't belittle someone for not being on the same level that you're on, or uh, they may not do the same things because you don't smoke and you're focusing on lifting weights. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Or you're focusing on exercising. You want to do that. You're not doing that because God calls you to do that. You're doing that because. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me go ahead and finish. I'm gonna do a pick. Just go ahead and finish.
Yes, sir. You're not doing that because God calls you to do that. You're doing that because you think that will help you. Uh, that you're going for the look. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, let people grow as they grow, and then um, you know, God will have the last say. So you know what I'm saying? As long as I believe, as long as you keeping it 100 with yourself, then that's all that counts, man. That old school religion, man, that's all out the window. You know what I'm saying? People trying to rebuke you in front of members of the church, man, that's out the window. People not going for that no more. You know what I'm saying? So just be true to yourself.
Right, and that's the most important thing: being true to yourself. You gotta be true to yourself. Cause how can you, if you're not being true to yourself, how can you be true to anybody else?
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? It really don't make no sense. But then that's another thing too. We was never taught to be honest with ourselves. We were just only taught to portray a certain thing in the church trade, but we will never learn how to be real with ourselves, like you said. Scripture say, love your neighbors, you love yourself. But have we really experienced loving ourselves? Have we ever crossed that path of learning to love ourselves? You hear people talking about self love, but back then we were so quick to love everybody else, but we was never learn to love ourselves.
Yes, sir. To piggyback on that, um, like you really I feel like you do have to love yourself. You definitely do have to know yourself. You know what I'm saying? And when I say like know yourself, I'm saying like basically uh like what is it that I'm saying? Lord help me. Pretty much just basically like okay, I don't know where I'm going with it. I had some notes written down. Let me get back to my notes really quick.
Go
I
ahead, go
wrote
ahead.
something down about that. That's funny that you said that
Okay.
about knowing yourself. Um, okay. Uh, a good friend of mine posted this today. It says, when you operate in your gift, you don't have to be the head of the table, for wherever you sit or stand, the table will shift. Sit or stand, the table will shift. You know what I'm saying? Um, so just basically knowing yourself, like even in relationships. I know we're talking about relationships today. I might be ahead of am I ahead of the
No,
topic?
we good. No, we good. Cause like I said, it's all tying in together. So go ahead, my brother.
Okay. So basically, just to go back to what you're saying, I don't want to get ahead of myself, so I'm gonna just stop right there. But just hopefully you can use that saying that I just stated just now, about yourself, you know what I'm saying, and just knowing and having confidence in yourself. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what I was trying to say. Confidence,
Right.
having confidence in yourself, and whether somebody does something wrong or do this, or you feel this type of way, it can very much be a false feeling, and I believe everyone has false feelings all the time.
Yeah.
But when you know yourself, and when you have other people that's encouraging you, saying, bro, it's because it's good to have that as well. Have someone, some type of positivity in your life, saying, bro, you're doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And when everyone else is saying, no, you're not capable of doing it, or you're not qualified, for that vehicle, and that same person was able to go on that same car lot with the same credit score and grab that vehicle. You know what I'm saying? It's about just preparing yourself, using the knowledge that God has given you, and being and using the wisdom, rather, and having that confidence to present it the right way, so that you can receive that blessing.
Right. And most definitely. And like I said, evolving. You know what I'm saying? We constantly evolving every day as human beings. We spiritual beings in human form. But what we did yesterday, we doing something completely different today. And then we know what we do tomorrow, we'll be doing something completely different tomorrow. But just to zoom in on the love of yourself, developing, especially for we talk, it's just as guys on here tonight, from a man perspective of loving ourselves, learning to respect ourselves, learning to be the men that we know that God called us to be. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
having that form of understanding manhood. Have we really understand manhood? Or, some guys think it's all about between their legs, and it's not about between their legs, but it's all about what you got up here in your head, in your mindset, your mind frame, to order to go in the direction that you set out to go in the direction you set out to be in, being that leader, but most importantly, as a man, to invest in yourself. You know, I had this conversation before, and I look at women. Women, once they leave their parents' house, they end up getting their own place. You look at some guys, not saying all guys, but some guys, when they move out, they end up moving in with a woman, but they never had that experience of learning to live by themselves, learn
Yes.
themselves, learn how to be responsible for themselves, but have that woman with them. Like I said, some women, they move out on their own, have their own place. But I encourage any guy, and I probably hit the schedule, but like with guys, I encourage guys that are single. If you live with your parents, have that experience of having your own place. But when I say that, when you do get into a relationship with the woman, you know how to handle things differently. Because why? Because you had that time of knowing yourself, you had that time to take care of yourself. So when a woman comes in the picture, you know what to do and you know how to do it, instead of just not having that experience of being on your own, because we so attached to different people, I guess, for what I want to say, for their guidance instead of having our own guidance in life. What you say about that? If that makes sense on what I'm saying.
Now, I agree with you wholeheartedly. For me, I moved I moved straight into my own place when I was, what, 18 or 19 years old,
Okay.
from my mother's. But you know, having that strong family to help you with that, I think that helps as well. Um, you know, for those that do have mothers and fathers that grew up with their mothers and fathers, it just everyone progresses at their own time. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really say, um, people can't really judge you for how you progress. You know what I'm saying? Or your duration of progress. You know what I'm saying? Just continue working on it. Don't quit. Don't give up on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when you quit, that's when you lose. But as long as you stay in the race, then you know, you know, that's it, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
like you said, stay in the rest. Let's talk before going to other more topics tonight. Let's talk about the music. So you always musically inclined. That's something that you grew up on, or just one that you just walked into. How did it all come about with you getting into music?
Man, so music has been in my family for years, man. Like my great grandmother had a piano in her house. Her name was Green Green. I have a picture of her on my Instagram when the family on the top slideshow. Um, she had a piano in her house. I'm not really musically inclined, but in Charleston, South Carolina, I went to Springfield Elementary, right there in pretty much the middle of Charleston, and uh, I studied a piano class in elementary school, a keyboarding
Okay.
class in elementary school. Yes, that's how much they were so into music in Carolina. And I mean, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the water or what. But so I realized that I was kind of I liked doing it. I had an interest in it. I loved it, and of course we moved. But as I moved and I played football in middle school. Camden County Cougars. I was number 89, wide receiver, cornerback, kickoff return. I didn't play long because I wanted to play running back, and the coach wouldn't let me play my position. And I did the wrong thing, and I took myself out, but it's okay. And but even then, my brother actually was rapping, and my older brother, and he was I only have one brother, but that's my brother. He was rapping, and he would record on 8 tracks, and with a guy named Bonnie Gregory in Kingsland, Georgia. That was around my middle school, his early high school. Um, Even in Haynesville, where I kind of mostly grew up at, we would be doing, making music on the side of the house. So we was always freestyling, always coming up with music. Then found out my dad was doing it. So when we flew out to California, or I think we drove out there actually, he came and picked us up. That's when we found out he had all this money. And this was like really our first time really getting back with him. We knew him back then, but we didn't know him. So because him and my mother had split at an early age, at an early age for us. And when we did get with him, we found out he was doing music. So he took us to a studio in La Mesa, California. It was called WW Entertainment, Wheeler and Williams Entertainment with him and Sonak. They had a record company together. And so I'm in the studio and I'm looking at the fax machines. I'm like, okay, that's me right there. I'm a businessman. So that kind of that kind of started everything. And I mean, that finished it. That just continued. It just continued molding me. It felt like that was what I was called to do. I feel like that's my gift. And so I just fell in love with it, man. Over the years, man, I'm still falling in love with them as I go work on an EP right now, and I'm like, man, I just got a. Can I make the announcement on here?
You go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, so I just got a placement for the new record EP, Love Me Back, uh, uh, and he's a Dove nominated artist. Uh, he's a Stellar Award nominated artist. He's a Grammy nominated artist. Uh, Great accolades, great brother, been a good friend of mine for years. And he rocks with K Joe as well, Ken Jones. But this guy, his name is Mr. Dale. He
Okay,
was
y'all know
actually,
Mr. Dale.
you know, Mr. Dale. Okay,
I don't
cool.
know him, but I heard him. He used to be with
Okay, okay,
Three
yes,
Six
sir. So,
Mafia
and
back in the day.
for those that don't know Mr. Dale, they say, well, he sounds. I mean, he named a lot of accolades, but I don't know if you ever heard 3 6 Mafia.
Yeah.
He had a song called. I don't know if I should say the song because it's kind of
No,
vulgar.
I mean, go ahead. That's what I love about on my podcast. We
Okay,
can talk about
well,
any and
he
everything.
says ass and titties,
Okay, yeah,
ass and
yeah, I
titties.
remember that song. I remember that
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
I remember
So
that
that's
song.
the guy that did that. But he changed his like years ago, way before, like right before 3 6 took off, and he started doing gospel, and so now he's been doing it over 20 plus years, and Man, he's a great man. Guy. He's a preacher, author of a book, um, doing great things, man. And I'm just blessed to have him a part of my project. But that's how I fell in love with music. I guess a little inclined, but more so just a passion.
Okay, so anyway, it was always in your blood because your dad.
Right,
It,
right.
so
Yeah.
it runs in the family. So working
Yes,
with
sir.
different artists, we know that the styles of music do change. We know people are always looking for something new, that it factor. So as you being an artist, all you always looking for that it factor. Because I understand you having different listeners out there, different audience, and you want to always want to bring something that they can relate to, bring some off the part. So how did you challenge all that, keeping up the time when it comes to music in 2022?
Uh, Now when you say channel it, what do you mean by it?
Like channeling, like when I say channel, like the challenge, different sounds, different
Oh, the
genre,
challenge
yeah,
of it.
different genres of music. You got different artists who may do rap rock or rap
Mm,
country. Like
mm,
Nelly do like a little country hip hop, and you had R. Kelly do like a little country.
mm.
You have some of the rap rock, like Jay Z did some Linkin Park with mixing with the rock and the rap. So, do you ever will ever do stuff like that when a genre of music, like change the different genres of music instead of just staying, I guess, one dimensional, but being versatile?
Okay, so really, I feel like I'm a worshiper. I honestly feel like I'm a worshiper. Mainly probably my lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always praying and stuff. So I goof around. I don't get me wrong. I have a good time, but I love to worship God. I love to zone out and just be in His presence, man. And so even when I write my songs, it's really like a worship. It's like a worship vibe when I'm writing my lyrics. You know what I'm saying? And the reason being is just because that's just who I am, man. You know what I'm saying? So um I believe I'll probably get into that portion of it later on as my career continues to go. I don't know how long I got left in me, to be honest, man. But I'm having fun, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I love. You know what I'm saying? And I believe with really soon you guys will probably hear a worship album that I put together. Um, and we're gonna rock out, man. But yeah, I did some rock hip hop songs with the guy named uh, Porter Shields. Back in the day, we did a joint called Rock On, and it was crazy, man. When I say it was crazy, that song was so hard, man. And Grandine had produced it. Grandine did a lot of Pastor Cat Jones song stuff. I think he did a Britney Spears track, but he produced that track that me and Porter Shields had did. Man, it was awesome, man. But I think more so I'll probably keep it hip hop. But you know, if anything, I'll probably do some more uh uh scratching the surface of melodic vibes into a worship pattern though. And just something like Juanita Bottoms actually. And but from a male standpoint. And so you know,
Yeah, and that's what it's all about when it comes to music. And I know when you use the label gospel artist, they label you just for the church. They just label you for just one group of people. But when you're doing music, you want to reach out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? When you
right.
hear other artists, when you hear artists like Jay Z and guys like that, you don't hear them saying secular artist Jay Z. But why would they say, as you being an artist, and you say you doing gospel, or they say when you doing gospel music, or they put to say gospel artist Gabriel Wheeler. That's why I know that some guys, I know some people who transition from mainstream to gospel don't want to do gospel no more because they said they didn't want to be in the box anymore. Do you feel like when people label you just in that arena, do you feel like you in the box, you being limited to your music?
I want to correct myself because I did an interview on a podcast at Radio One with Shishi, and I said I was trying to transition from gospel to mainstream. I want to correct myself. First of all, for those that follow me that are trying to do gospel music. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go outside of that. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I say that is because when you start venturing off trying to fit in with other people, then that's when things become toxic in a way if you're not mentally capable to handle that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just to keep everything safe, I would say stay in the calling that God calls you to do. And then as he elevates you, you know, I mean, the elevation is going to come by you just being, committed and still doing what God called you to do. He's going to elevate you automatically. It may not come right away, but you may think that, uh, hey, I got a secular ideal, and you think it's the next biggest hit, but you go and you do it, and then you find out it's the same hustle. That's something Pastor Ken always told me back in the day. He was like, the gospel arena and the secular industry is pretty much the same. It's hand in hand because it's all work. You got to hustle for it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing gonna come overnight. So just stay true to yourself again. Stay true to yourself, and just stay dedicated with it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And when it's your time, it's it's inevitable, man. It'll happen. You know what I'm saying? If it's meant
Yeah.
for it to happen, it will happen. You know,
Yeah.
and other people's success is more than others. I've reached a quite bit of success, even though I don't have a lot of money, but I have a quite bit of success. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm happy in the place that I'm at, and the people that I'm reaching. And if it's God's will that He elevates my career, my solo career to higher heights, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? But right now I'm just having fun, man. I believe you gotta have fun. You gotta know that you love. You gotta have a passion for doing it. And when a passion is something you do, whether you're getting paid for it or you're not getting paid for it. That's something that that you're doing it because it's a passion and not because something you're trying to fit in, or you think you're gonna get a quick money, quick flip. If you want to do that, just go get a job, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I mean, hey, just keep it 100, 1,000. Like I say, 1,000.
yeah.
Passion. That you hit on the nail, on the head and nail of the coffin. Passion. A lot of people, I don't say a lot of people, I don't want to put everybody in the same box. Some people do stuff for the wrong reasons. I remember growing in, I'm from Mobile, Alabama. Now I transitioned here to Dallas, Texas. But I know some
Yeah.
cats who look at it as I got to get money. They look at it as I got to get paid. They look at it, I want to be on TV. They look at it that I want to be on the Lecrae level, and I want to be on the Triple E level, and I want to be on the Ken Jones level. But like he told you, them guys pay their dues. Them guys put in work, and they
Hmm.
believe in what they was doing, and they perfected their craft. They cultivated their craft on a regular basis. Some people treat this stuff like it's a hobby. They treat it like almost a hobby because people go 1,000 with their hobbies. They treat it like it's a coat. You put it like, okay, I'm gonna put this on today because it's cold outside. Then tomorrow I'm not wearing it because it's warm outside. No, some people treat this like it's a coat. Something you put
Hmm.
on, something you take off. If you don't see the results right then and there, you quit, you give up. So some people want that instant gratification, but not willing to put it like back in the day, say pay your dues. You know, some cats don't want to pay their dues. What'd you say about that?
And I mean, man, you can't judge your success off another man's success. You know what I'm saying? Then we are all be in a whole bunch of trouble, man.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm
agree.
saying? So, like I said, you just gotta stay true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Be true to yourself in due time. God will lift you up.
Yeah,
You know, I probably could have been a millionaire right now if I would have did things right. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, I'm in a good space. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I'm happy. I'm content. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, in due time, God will elevate you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So you gotta stay true to yourself. I can't express that enough.
You got to. And I'm saying that you're not doing it for the money, but you're doing this something you love to do. It's like back in the day, you just want to get your name out there. You wouldn't even worry about getting a dime. You just want to get your name out there.
Mhm.
You know, you have people talk about building brands. They think just because they build a brand, they got to add a dollar sign to it. What about just getting on out there, getting yourself known? The Bible said your gift will make room for you, right? So
Right.
the gift gonna make room for you.
Oh
You
yeah.
don't have to chase the money. The money gonna find you. Just in the
Right.
meantime, you
Right.
put in work in your craft. You
Right.
perfect your craft. You study different. Okay, the arena that people in that you in, study them. Not saying you act like them, but study them. Study the blueprint they put out before us. That you can follow on that blueprint at the same time, find your path. Put in the work. That's the fun thing about it, the process.
Mhm.
No, some people don't want to go through the process. G. They just want the instant gratification. If I don't get one like, if I don't get one share, oh, I'm just gonna quit. I'm just want to throw in the towels. A lot of people want to go into the arenas to get
And
everybody
and
to
I
talk
can
them, but
get that. And the reason I get that is because I've like when you work hard at something, you do want to see some type of results. And that's that's natural. You know what I'm saying? So don't beat yourself about that. But just know if you get one like, that's somebody. You know what I'm saying? And somebody is talking about you. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere. So um, I feel like you know, pretty much like if you do it, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, the money will come, you know,
yeah,
the gains, the highs, they gonna come, but you just be content. Be content. Don't do it for the money. You know what I'm saying? Like I work, you know what I'm saying? I work a 9 to 5, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I come home and when I have some extra cash, I put it towards my music. But me personally, I know how the game is. I'm not looking for that quick turnaround money to come back to me. No, I'm doing it for the love. I'm like, yo, I'm just putting music out. You know what I'm saying? Like I got so many flyers right here right now. This is money, bro. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That I
most
put into
definitely.
my craft. You know what I'm saying? But it's a reason. Have purpose for doing it. You know what I'm saying? So like, say you want to be a rapper and you say, hey man, I got a story. How can I get my story out there, Gabe? I know you done rub shoulders with some bosses. I know you done been out there in the industry. You know what I'm saying? And true enough, I have. And the formula still is the same. You gotta work your craft. You know what I'm saying? Go in there, lay down. If you wanna, this is what my dad say. If you wanna run with the big boys, you gotta do what the big boys do. You gotta compete with the big boys. You gotta be on their level. You know what I'm saying? When I say that, it's like you want to put together a well mixed album, So that's I mean just some pointers, man. Definitely you want to come with something with a nice track, something that's kind of catchy. You know what I'm saying? Once you got that, you want to make sure that it's mixed and mastered properly to the best of its ability. But I mean, all those are good things to have, but just do your best. At the end of the day, just do your best.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And God will elevate you. See, who was it? Was it Abraham? I think.
Mm-hmm.
No, Isaac.
How's it?
He said he gave him favor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that favor will come. It's not necessarily something that you did. You know what I'm saying? It's just I mean, in kind of a way it is, but kind of a way it's not. All you have to do is just step out on faith and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna jump out in that water. I'm jumping today. You know what I'm saying? Put it together, write that song, write that movie. You know what I'm saying? Put it together, and then do your best at it.
Right.
Tyler Perry started with little or nothing. Who else, man? LeBron James started rough. You know what I'm saying? So all these stories let you know it's not the glorified them and be like, oh man, he did, man, that man the beast, man. He the best ever because he grew up with nobody in his family had socks or shoes, and he came out to be the best sock maker. He ain't never seen a sock in his life. Nah, bro. The man thought about something. He had a vision of it. He created this stuff, got on faith, whether good or bad. He liked it. He thought it was good, believing in yourself, then presenting it to the masses in a good and a professional manner. And then from there, it's gonna pop. I never forget when I was here. I'm here in Atlanta now. I'm up north Atlanta now. We just moved into our own place. Praise God for that. But I I heard on the radio, "Nuck if you buck," and that's a long story behind that. But "Nuck if you buck" came on the radio, and so I'm listening to it, and I'm like, I know where these guys recorded it at. It's you I mean you can tell the quality of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds like they recorded in the bathroom or something. You know what I'm saying? But just the whole point that they did that with little or nothing, with just a dream, and God elevates you. You don't have to always say, "Oh, I got to do this and make it this way. Or I got to do that." No, work with what you got now and step out with what you have now. If you have professional photos, work on that professional photo book and shop it. You know, not everybody costs money to submit a headshot to go into a acting position or for that cover of that magazine. You know what I'm saying? So just start off and do something towards your dream, and it'll
Right.
come true. You
And it
know?
will.
Yeah.
And to those that's listening, no, get off your butt. Get off your butt and do something. Don't just wait around, wait for something to happen. It don't work like that. Nothing like God's not gonna drop nothing out of the sky and say,
Yeah.
"Bam, here you go." Gee, what I use this analogy to myself. And this is something I always got to keep myself on my toes with. Nobody's not gonna knock on my front door and tell you, "Hey, friend, I need to get your life together." Nobody's not gonna knock on my front door and tell me to get my life together. I have to get my own life together. I mean, I have to get myself up,
Hmm.
make stuff happen. Don't wait for life to happen for you. You make stuff happen for you. And just as
Okay.
she was talking, I was listening. Guys back in the day would work, take the money they made, invest into their equipment. They would invest into their gifting. They would invest into what they believe they was called to do. When they got that little, just like when we were growing up, when you wanted your car, what you did? You work, save that money. You didn't care how long it took,
Yeah.
but you save that money. You may put it. Okay, I you getting paid like every 2 weeks. You put
Hmm.
like $100 up every week. $100 up every 2 weeks. Eventually, it built up where you go buy that car that you wanted, and you was proud of that moment.
Yeah.
That's how it was because you had a goal in mind. You envisioned getting that car, but now we in this generation now with everything, social media could be a blessing and a curse. They get so caught up in these false images that they gotta have some quick, fast, and a hurry instead of just putting in the work, paying your dues. Paying your dues today still stand. I don't hear what people say, man, times have changed. No, yeah, but everything still remains the same. Only thing now you just got all this technology and equipment that we got now, but the method, the planning, the work still stays the same. You had to put in the work. Like, but going back from what you took saying, them guys investing into their equipment. They work. They even put in extra overtime, especially like if you do have a 9 to 5. If you really want to get something, what you gonna do? You gonna put in the work. Pick up some extra hours if you're trying to get somewhere. And that's another thing, G. People don't want to make no sacrifices. Some people don't. You're gonna have to make in order to get somewhere in life. You're gonna have to make sacrifices. You're gonna have to let. You can't worry about the $200 pair of Jordans for a little while. You're gonna have to put out going out every weekend, going out to dinner and stuff, because you're building towards something. And
Right.
once you get what you want, you're gonna be satisfied. You're like, dang, all this stuff finally paid off.
I see you.
Have fun with the process. That's what you have fun with the process. Put in the work. And I tell
I
anybody,
see.
if you working a 9 to 5, I work 8 hours, 16 hours a day on my day job. But I'm building towards something. The little money I have extra, I put into what I'm working on. Like, in order to get the best program, what you gonna do? You have to spend money. That's another thing too. Some people's just scared to spend money. You're gonna have to spend money. Some people just get so scared
Yeah.
spending money.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to spend money.
Yes, sir.
In order to get the best stuff. And I don't get me wrong, people will do stuff for you for free, but I'm a man like this, a man of integrity. Pay people for their services. Pay people for their services. Stop trying to look for freebies all the time. People respect you when you pay for their service. They're gonna take you seriously. Oh man, that dude shot the money to be real because you're working on something.
Yes, sir.
So, like you said, you mentioned flyers. You got the flyers. That's money right there. Getting yourself out there, and that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about getting yourself out there. Anybody should want to get themselves out there. And you brought up LeBron. I mean, Kendrick Perkins. He's a basketball. Used to be a basketball player in the NBA, and said him and LeBron played high school ball together. He said while the other guys were eating McDonald's hamburgers and French fries, he said LeBron was off in the corner somewhere drinking water and eating fruit. LeBron had that mindset at a teenage age that he was going towards something. So what he did, he invested in himself. In order to be the best, you're gonna have to invest in yourself. You just can't go, okay, everybody here want to party and get drunk and get high. But nah, bump that. I'm working over here because I want to make a life for myself. So I'm putting in the extra hours. I'm doing a lot of studying. I'm up grinding. I'm not wasting time. You should want to waste time. You should be up grinding right now. What is you doing? You sitting on watching TV, watching Facebook, watching TikTok. Instead of getting your behind up and going to work, you want this stuff, but you're not willing to put in the work. Nobody's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna give you anything, ladies and gentlemen. Gabriel, you're a problem. You work. You constantly working, and I see you working all the time, and you constantly
Yeah.
grinding, my brother. And I respect
Yeah.
guys and women who do put in the grind and not
Yeah.
making excuses, not looking at everybody help them out all the time, looking for a hand out, but you willing to put in the work. I
Yeah.
respect a man like that who willing to put in the work. So what you gotta say about what you gotta say about that? I'm having a good time
Man,
on the
I agree
podcast.
with you, bro. Man, I can't tell you how much times I see individuals, and it's I don't know what it is, man, but you definitely like you gotta have a job, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I know you want to do music. I know you got talent. You know what I'm saying? But first things first, bro, you gotta have a job, man. You gotta have some type of income coming in. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Not just for your wife, for yourself, man. Do it for yourself.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And once you have that, people will help you out. You know what I'm saying? Like but they gotta see you start somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So start yourself somewhere and be that be, I mean, you gotta have a job.
Yeah, you got to, and
You
it's not
know,
wrong.
so
And
yeah,
like I said, you see people on social media. G always. I'm not. Don't knock a person working 9 to 5.
yeah,
Everybody's not called to entrepreneurship.
yeah.
That's not everybody's cup of tea.
Hmm.
Some people just meant to be clients. Some people meant to just be customers. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not called to that arena. I see people always talking about they want financial freedom. You still have to put in the work for financial freedom. You still, you still gotta have that 9 to 5, of course. You still gotta have that in order to get what you want. And then in due time, in due season, once your, I don't see your side hustle, once your side business start picking up where you generate enough income, to better let your 9 to 5 go. Then do it. It takes time
Oh yeah,
to actually
that's
build.
it.
It's time
That's
and
it.
patience. And I know we were talking about that. No, we're not gonna be pressed for time. But what I want to talk about, I'm not married. I know you're married. I'm gonna talk
Yes, sir.
about having a support system. Now, a
Okay.
lot of people nowadays don't have that support. They with someone, but they don't have that support system. Because I think your spouse should be your number one supporter in
Hmm.
what you do. And I have pulled up something on marriage.com. It's at 20 steps to becoming a supportive partner. And I'm just gonna put a little stuff, and then I want you to get your opinion on it. It says,
Okay.
as humans, we are emotionally being. It said, as humans, we are emotional beings who always crave, love, care, respect, and support. Friends and family are important, but we all desire to have that special someone in our lives who will love us unconditionally and and by our own side, no matter what goes wrong. The support of our partner in the lowest moments can help us boost our confidence to another level. What you got to say about that one, G?
Supporting each other at the lowest moment.
Yeah, it says supporting each other the lowest moment can help
Mhm.
boost our confidence to another level.
Oh yeah, that's it, bro. That's it right there, man. Man, I can't tell you how many times I done been feeling like crap. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife coming in, just everything gonna be all right. And man, that does that. I mean, that brings out the kryptonite in you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I can make it, man. Yeah, that's it right there.
And then I'm another. They said, then it says this. However, challenging a situation is a supportive. It said, however, challenging a situation is a supportive partner's presence can make us believe that everything will be all right.
Oh
You
yeah,
just said that. You just said that.
oh yeah, oh yeah. That's it as well. Like I'm practicing something now. You know what I'm saying? And it's working, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm working as a team with my partner. You gotta work as a team. You gotta work as a team. First, you know, you can't drive a car or a Tesla, you know what I'm saying, without reading that manual. You gotta read the manual to get to know your car. You know what I'm saying? So once you start diving into that, well, you got something right there, brother.
And I'm read one more couple more things we get off the air tonight. It said being a supportive partner seems like an essence part of a relationship, but some people may not know the best way to be a supportive husband, wife, or significant other. There are different kinds of supports in a relationship, as well as several important reasons for supporting your spouse or significant other. And I know that support system is very, especially you married. You
Yeah.
know, husband and wife should support one another. Like you said, that team, that. In other words, you and your wife is franchise players. Y'all have a franchise. Y'all families to face the franchise. Y'all face the franchise. So it's all about you and your wife winning championships together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about working that team, having that vision. Okay, we work, me and wife, whoever, we're working together as a team,
Mm-hmm.
working as that unit, working as one. Remember the song back in the day, Neo and Fabulous. He said he was telling about the woman he was with. I'm good all by myself, but you make
Mm-hmm.
me better. Then he
Mm-hmm.
said, even though I'm a movement, he said, even though I'm a movement all by myself, but we are a force when we're together.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm good all by
I
myself,
think
you
so
make me better.
with that, I feel like um I'm married, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
everyone relationship is different though, because at the end of the day it's a relationship. You know what I'm saying? But like I can definitely attest to that. You know what I'm saying? Because like when I'm at my lows, to go back what you said, when she can look me in my eyes and say, babe, it's gonna be all right. Don't worry. You know what I'm saying? Or come and hold me. And man, I mean that feeling, man, you can't replace that feeling. You know what I'm saying? So those are, of course, the good things. Those are the good things. So when the bad things start coming around, you be like, you may get a little angry. You know what I'm saying? You might get a little angry. But at the end of the day, you be like, okay, it's I still I still like her. I love her. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right,
it's more good than bad. You know what
right.
I'm saying? It's way more good than bad.
That's
And
it.
when you got that, you'll begin to celebrate her wins when she does something and steps out and say, "Hey, I want to do something for us." You know what I'm saying? Like today, babe, I want to go out to the movies. That's something that she worked hard to do. You know what I'm saying? She thought of that in her mind. Like plant that, she actually sold that seed, planted that, and watered it, and then came to you for the sunlight, for the nourishment. You know what I'm saying? So that you both can benefit off whatever the tree brings. You know what I'm saying? So um that's awesome, man. I love it, man.
Man, awesome. I appreciate you. I know we pressed for time and stuff. I know
Yeah,
you're a
it's
family
cool,
man.
man.
I don't want to hold you on the podcast too long.
It's cool,
I
man.
res- I respect that. I respect that. So while we're getting off the air, you have any final remarks for the listening audience? How can they follow you? How can they listen to your music? Go ahead, shoot.
Okay, I'm on IG, Facebook. I am Gabriel Wheeler. Gabriel like the angel, Wheeler like an 18 wheeler. Twitter, I am Gabe, Gabe Wheeler. Um, YouTube, search Gabriel Wheeler. Podcast, search Gabriel Wheeler. You'll find all episodes, such as the one we're doing tonight, um, that Mr. Furman Jackson invited me to. And I had a wonderful time being here, bro. I really appreciate you, man. I wish we could
Awesome.
talk some more, man. We need to do it again.
Oh man, hey, no stranger at all. We could have to set it up and make it happen again. Like I said, I appreciate you, G, for hanging out with me here on the Nice Podcast. We talk about a lot of good stuff. We talk about support, paying your dues. We talked about faith. We talk about a lot of good stuff that really came forth tonight. And of course, I want to give a big shout out to the team. Of course, a big shout out to Coach Shay. Big shout out to Anna C. Big shout out to Kenny Primetime Williams as well. Because they hang out with me on Tuesday night. Because you got my was I added extra night, so I'm doing Wednesday. Like I said, man, the grind is real. I got to take this brand to another level. So after I get off here, I still got to do some work as well. Because it don't
Okay.
stop. It don't stop. It's a 24-hour operation to me, and the show must go on. So I appreciate you again, of course. And like I said, the replay will be up. The replay is going to be on our YouTube channel. It's going to be on Spotify and Anchor Podcast. So you can better check out the audio and the vision. And also, big shout out to everybody in the comment section. Big shout out to everybody watching us right now on Facebook Live. We'll be back next Tuesday night here on Facebook Live with Walking This Way Impact Voice Podcast. And once again, I'm your host, Furman Jackson Jr. Y'all have a great Wednesday. Remember, put in the work, pay your dues. And before we get off the air, remember the graveyard. Everybody had one thing in common. Everybody thought they had tomorrow. They didn't see tomorrow. Live your life like a rock star, not in a negative way, but in a positive way. So live your life like it's your last. And remember, before you go to bed tonight, take your favorite drink, where you drink water, tea, whatever you drink. Go in the bathroom, look yourself in the mirror, toast yourself, tell yourself I love you, tell yourself I got your back, tell yourself I'm ride with you, tell yourself we gonna make it, tell yourself we gonna achieve, tell yourself that we gonna take life by the horn, tell yourself that we gonna make life happen and enjoy your life. Have a great night, everybody.